Welcome to our second devotional as we continue our pilgrimage through the Holy Land. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to go down the Mount of Olives, which is where this photo was taken, through the Kidron Valley, which is what separates the Mount of Olives from the Old City Jerusalem, back up and into that walled area that you see right there. That is the Old City Jerusalem. Now, if you've ever heard of or read in the Old Testament, the old city that was created to be Jerusalem, that was surrounded by a wall with 12 gates on it, this is that city. The wall you see here is not the original wall. It has been rebuilt over the generations because of many wars. The wall that you see right now is was mostly reconstructed about 500 years ago, even though portions of it are still original. Here's a map of the layout of the city. Now, if you didn't know this, the old city is broken up into three corridors. There's the Jewish section, the Muslim section, and the Christian section. In the Christian section, you have such things as what's called the Via Dela Rosea. These are the stations of the cross, as you can see those numbers up there, or what our Catholic friends believe this is the path that Jesus took when carrying the cross to Golgotha. You also have what you're about to see here is what's called the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. This is where our Catholic friends believe that the cross was actually placed into the ground. There's a hole in the ground that they believe that is the location of it. But as you're kind of seeing this, and I'm showing you around the Church of the Holy Sepulchre here, let me tell you something else about this area. The tension in this area, because all three major world religions, Jewish, Christian, and Muslim, see this as their holy land, the tension is so high that they have decided down to the inch whose territory is whom's. And if there is anybody that crosses the line and they feel offended, there's been fights that have broken out. That there's even a case of a Christian monk who was sweeping and accidentally swept over the wrong line, and it caused an altercation. This here, this is the stone that they believe Jesus was laid on to be prepared for burial after he was taken down from the cross. And as you can see, there is elaborate gold and silver embellishments all over the place as you go out through this church. This is a common thing to see in the Holy Land, to see these kinds of extravagant decorations in Christian churches. One of my favorite parts, though, is I was blessed to actually go on top of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And there I was shown a bunch of carvings. These are actually graffiti that dates back to the time of the Crusaders, where Christians have gone up on top of the church. And you find this throughout the Holy Land in different places as well. But they left a mark of their faith, almost as a way of saying that they love the Lord and they just always wanted to be a part of this location. Two last things I want to show you real quick. The first is this ladder. I mentioned earlier about the tension and how strict they are about the location of things between the three areas here in the old city. The day that it was decided that there would be this specific locations of everything down to the inch, somebody was washing that window on that ladder long ago. And as a way to preserve the moment, apparently it was decided that nothing could ever be changed again. And so they've never taken down that ladder. As a matter of fact, over the years, it has fallen down a couple times because of wind, and they have always put it back up. The other thing I want to show you is this stone right here. Some archaeologists found it a while back. This is in a completely different chapel, by the way. Um, and they have come to understand that this stone was actually part of the road during the time Jesus Christ would have been there. So there's a chance that during his time, Jesus walked upon this stone or his apostles did. Now, before we move on from the Old City, I want to just touch base one more time about those three districts, if you will. Um, the Jewish district was wonderful. It was clean. It was uh, very kind and inviting. Reminded me a lot of a 21st century Western world with some very nice cafes outside. There was also some Roman pillars that were still there from the time of the Roman occupation, and actually some cats that I got a chance to make friends with, and a little boy that was there that I got a chance to make friends with too. Um, Apparently, there's cats all over the old city because it helps keep the mice down. As for the Muslim corridor, I did go back one evening and just wandered around the old city just because I could. And what I found was that there are absolutely no shops, no tourism in the Muslim corridor. It's all residential areas. I didn't feel comfortable or safe taking photographs of it. And I got some pretty sideways looks from people when I accidentally wandered in there because the three areas are not clearly marked at all, but I didn't have any issues with that. Lastly, there was a section in the Christian corridor that I would personally call the touristy area. And to be honest, it kind of broke my heart because a lot of it looked very run down, as you can see. A lot of the employees there were very aggressive, very pushy about getting you into their shops. And I later found out that most of them aren't even Christian, that they are just there because of the employment. And for that to be part of our representative in the Holy Land, in that very sacred space, was just kind of painful for me to see. Lastly, I want to take you to what's left of the Holy Temple. And next week, we're actually going to be spending a lot of time there at the Western Wall and even underground at the Rabbanic tunnels. But until then, I shot this video for you, and I want to share it with you now. My friends, I'm standing on the southern steps. These are the steps to the Holy Temple that Jesus would have walked up time and time again. These are the original steps. This was the southern stairs where the common man would have come up, not where the wealthy or the rabbis would have come, but the common man. Long ago, there was two gates that led into the temple. From here, you can kind of see three of them over there, those arches that are carved into the wall. That was called the triple gate. And then over here, you see that half arch up there. That is what's left of what's called the double gate. Some believe that this is the place where even Pentecost took place. They found 50 baptismal pools in the temple. So it begins to make sense how they could have baptized 3,000 people. This is also most likely the place where Jesus' parents would have taken him when he was born to have him circumcised and officially named, to pay the price for the firstborn son. The walls are from about 500 years ago, the last time the temple was rebuilt. But these steps, though they may have been repaired a couple times, are from the second Holy Temple. These very steps may have been put in place during the time of Nehemiah.